Thinking of buying a car? Well, there's much more to think about before purchasing. Host of Out the World in Power 106, our colleague Shelley Ann
McLagan, yes.
Right, I got it right, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Is here to give us some things to consider. Morning.
Good
Welcome
morning,
to Smile Jamaica.
Thank you.
First of all,
Yes.
you have to determine, why am I buying a car?
Definitely. You should know the purpose of the car, the use of the car.
Then
Like
drive.
what?
Like no drive it or drive it.
Well, yes, you're driving it, but where are you driving it to? And that is a challenge that a lot of persons have, that they will overbuy or underbuy. And when we talk about overbuying or underbuying, we're talking about someone who's just going to work, taking the kids to school, going to the supermarket, just doing regular round-town trips, versus someone who is a country runner going off-road, right? So when you're doing that, then you need to consider, what is the purpose of the car? Am I working this car, or am I just driving this car here and there? Because, some people don't rack up any mileage on their car,
Right.
while you have others who do. So consider first the purpose of the car.
All right, and the terrain that you go for cover in this
Terrain,
car.
and you have people that may just be going to work, but where they live, they might live on the hill. So if you're living on the hill, then you may need to consider getting something with four-wheel drive, depending on the steepness of the hill and what you're dealing with there, because you're having water runoff. So you need something with traction control, something that can manage that kind of thing. I mean, two-wheel car drivers, that's fine. I've had a front-wheel car drive, living on the hill, and I had skidding, but because I can drive, then I was able to maneuver, right? But I couldn't go up my driveway. So these are the things that you have to consider when you're purchasing a car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knowing your budget.
Your budget.
Let me tell you, Shelley, it's a serious thing that.
Yes. Now, people become emotional when they're buying cars. We have emotional buys. You're excited, especially if it's your first car. You're excited. If you're going from pre-owned to new, you're super excited. So you need to always consider what your budget is. And your budget is not just what you can pay for the car, but can you live after you're done buying that car?
Are you going to live in the car?
And we have persons who their cars are more expensive than their homes.
Yes.
So you have to consider that. Can I buy food? Can I buy gas? Can you pay insurance? Can I maintain this car? So you really need to be doing a total cost of ownership when you're purchasing a car. It's not just buying it.
You see, that question about maintenance, very important, because you buy the car, but you have to ask yourself if I have to buy a part.
And parts availability is critical.
Well, Shelley, it's available, but can I afford it?
And that also is based on the type of car that you're purchasing. So this is something that you need to factor when you're purchasing a car. You need to factor these things into your budget as to, and that will also determine the age of the car that you buy. A lot of persons opt to buy new cars. Why? The manufacturer or the dealer may give you a warranty for 3 years that covers service items. So you're getting service for 3 years or 30,000 kilometers. It may not cover major things like your drivetrain and engine, things like that, and tires. But you're not expecting to have these things deteriorate within that short period of time unless you're doing something really adverse to what the car was designed to do, right? But you do have defects from time to time. Normally when these things happen, you have what is called a PIP, which is a service bulletin that normally goes out. So you have to be savvy. So you do your research. If you're having an issue with a car, do some research and see what is happening to this model, right? Because you do have some cars that after a certain time, they have components that may fail, right? So you can look for your service bulletin.
There's a recall
Yes,
and stuff like that.
take it back to to the dealer, right? Because the dealer now has a responsibility, as long as it is under the warranty period, to honor it, as long as it is that you're not doing something that is outside of what the car was
I guess if I'm
designed to do.
buying a used car, I need to get it checked out fully before I do anything.
You should. And one of the things that we need to take into consideration, we have a lot of challenges, or we had a lot of challenges here for persons with these vehicles coming from overseas that were not really designed for our diesel here. But that was fixed when we introduced ultra-low sulfur diesel, and that was one of the reasons why persons would have had issues with the valves sticking, things like that. So you have to look at what is here in the market, because a lot of us, we want to be special. So we don't want nobody else to have a car. Yes, we want to be the only ones with this particular mark. But you have to think about parts availability. Can I source a part for this car if it should go down? Because you're buying the car to use the car.
Should I take my mechanic with me when I'm buying a pre-owned car?
Definitely, right? You want...
I feel like you should take the
You need
mechanic.
to have somebody who has mechanical expertise to inspect this car with
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
right? And when you're inspecting this car, don't inspect it in the night. Try not to inspect it when it's raining. You want to be able to see the car. You understand? You need to see the paint of the car, right? You need to see the condition of the car. You want to see if this car has been in an accident. You can look at the panels to see if it has been hit. The paint is usually different in color. If it one older and the other paint is now fresher and younger. You want to look inside of the car, in the bonnet. You want to look inside to see if there's any oil leak. If you can, you want to look underneath it as well, under the undercarriage, to see what is happening.
To me.
Yes.
Ideally, and some people would look after their cars differently than others, but ideally, how old? I mean...
For me?
No, I mean, in other words, if I want to buy a car today, should I go back all
What
the way
age?
to
What
2010
age shouldn't you be
No,
looking
no,
at?
no. I wouldn't advise it to go 10 years. 3 to 5 years would be ideal, most ideal, because all components on a car have a lifespan. So it means that if you buy a really old car, you're going to be spending a lot of money maintaining this car, changing components, transmission leaks, things like that. You may be lucky and you get a car that will hold up, because some marks are really tougher than other marks. But in general, manufacturers design components to have a lifespan. So after a certain period of time, those parts are going to fail.
So even if I park it up and I don't drive more than 20 miles a year and things...
Parking the car deteriorates it,
No, that's the question I'm asking.
Yes.
It still would be an old car and you wouldn't want
It
to...
is, because you're going to still have, and depends on where you're putting it. Where are you keeping this car?
So even if you don't rack up the mileage, but it's still a 2012
No,
car.
no. Well, there's a difference. It depends. You have different components that are going to be wearing if it is that you're just parking it.
Right.
Right? So you have things that may happen inside of the car. Yesterday we did a program on this where we had, my guest on the program had a customer that had sludging in his car because he parked it there for a long time, not driving it, not having clean oil inside of the system, and so there was an amount of sludging and rusting inside. So different things will fail regardless of how you have it. You still have to start the car. So if it's old and it's sitting there, you still need to start the car and get it going.
Shelly, and you're the boss.
No, I'm not.
Yo, man, you're the boss, on it, man.
No, I mean, it's critical. Your car is a big investment, so you need to be sure and be certain what you're doing when you're spending millions of dollars buying the car. And as I said, don't be emotional about buying a car. And you know, some persons have their dream car and they, oh, I want this mark or I want that mark. But you also have to be realistic.
Be practical.
Yes, be practical, be realistic, and see if it is that really, can I really afford this? You understand? Is this where I need to be at this time, at this point in my life?
We have to go, but I see something here that says keeping your car happy.
Yes, you should.
When we give my car a joke, what we do?
No, you should. Keep your car clean. Keep your car serviced. Yes, keep your car happy. If your car is happy, then you will be happy. Your car won't leave you, right? Listen for sounds, right? If you're not sure what that sound is, take it to your repairer. Sounds are, they can be dodgy. So you may hear it now, and then when you go there, you don't hear it again. But, you know, try and be one with your car, you know? Merge with your car so you can know that something is definitely happening
Bond with your car, people.
Of course. It's your friend. Your car on the road, you and the car.
Sound that, I'm going to turn up my music.
Oh, Lord,
No,
have
don't
mercy.
ignore it. Sounds can be very dangerous. Sounds can be dangerous, so you don't want to ignore them.
All right, thank you so much.
When do you host? What time?
So my program is Mondays to Fridays at 5:15 on Power 106 FM.
5:15 in the morning?
5:15 in the evening, so it's drive time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Host
you
of
very much.
Auto World on Power 106, Miss Shelly Ann McLagan. Tune in to her. Still to come,
NSWMA. What that mean?
National Solid Waste Management Authority.
You're big.
Our
No,
agency.
you're big. What? Make up your mind. It's the
Well,
agency
I think they've
authority.
changed it to agency. Yes.
Soon come here, man.
Plastic separation project. We're going to talk about that.
Soon come.
Somebody can.